Hey, beautiful souls. Appreciate all the new subscribers lately, and for your love and support and your comments. And yeah, there's a lot to it, isn't there? Obviously, many are drawn to the Mary Magdalene of what I've been communicating. Those that don't know you, I'm Caroline. Welcome to my channel. I will just give a quick synopsis of my path and why I'm on YouTube. Basically, I was always drawn by spirit to, as a child, I always had a belief, faith in something higher than me. And you know, you have parents that love you. And I just, in my little childlike brain, figured that there was something even more profound and loving beyond even my mother and father, my mum and dad. And it was that innocence of heart that has led me to today and has got me through many challenging times. As we all know, that you are the embodiment of all of your life experiences, and maybe even social conditioning, the way you were brought up, even a religion point. The beliefs that you have are a result and a combination of all of your experiences right from a child. It's only as you get older that you do question. Well, I hope you do. The purpose of my channel is basically when my husband, I knew, was like a soulmate because he knew the essence of me. Now, what do I mean by that? Somebody that you inner know that they grasp what your soul is, your soul essence, and it's that love, that profound love that is beyond human love. Anyway, this soulmate, my husband, he introduced me to my twin flame, whom I didn't know that term at the time. When he introduced me, I knew there was something significant about him. I just recognized him. It was an inner knowing. Obviously, it scared me because I was with my husband and there was no way I was going to leave my husband. And I didn't look into twin flames because I just completely shut down at that point. I actually avoided this fella probably. But anyway, through just going with the flow and, you know, following my husband, I still had a bit to do with this fella, but it's never been a romanticized thing. Still hasn't been. So, but yeah. Okay, so when he passed away in 2020, early 2020, we were just getting warnings of the global event, right? So thankfully we weren't affected, so I could have a proper funeral for my husband. But I was very aware of signs and synchronicities, i.e. the angels were giving me numbers a lot, like 333, or I'd wake up at 333. I'd wake up at 444. I'd see cars with 777, or all of the numbers, a whole load of combinations. Now, so you could say this was becoming a mystical experience because now my soul and my 3D reality were now communicating, and I was become even more aware beyond what church I belonged to. And I'm not going to say where, but I was very much biblical based, okay? We'll just say that. There's King James Bible, okay? Grab your cup of tea. It's tea. Oh, see, I just saw 444. Grab your cup of tea. It's tea time with Auntie Caroline. We have to make it a bit of a laugh, don't we? And I just said to Spirit, what on earth am I going to talk about today? I fly off the cuff. I prepare to a point, but not really. I'm just like, whatever, I'm just going to be the embodiment and just see what flows through. Before I continue, I noticed I've got 87 subscribers and 87 videos. Now, when I upload this video, it's now then going to say 88, okay? So as I'm doing this video, it is 87 subscribers, 87 videos, okay? So I looked up that 87. Well, we know that's two lots of, ironically, there's another YouTube channel that my husband had that also has 87 videos. 87 subscribers. So I was like, there's something with 87, 87, 87. Anyway, I'm getting a bit off track here. This is how my brain goes. So it's just the way I'm fine tuning it, should we say. But there's 8 is very much about giving and receiving, okay? So, dear Lord, there was so much I wanted to share with you over the days that I've not been on here, but for reasons that I won't go into, I needed to just, you know, I couldn't because I was too busy. So, it's about soul mission. What's your soul mission? Mary Magdalene is... Oh, okay, so we were on about giving and receiving. I don't know where I'm going with this. Spirit, where am I going with this? I just said to them as I came in, oh, what no is saying? I said, oh, I don't know what I'm going to talk about today. And they're like, great, that's great, because you could just be like a child. I'm like, yeah, that sounds like me. We take it, it's just too serious otherwise, isn't it? Like, these are serious things, but really, we've just got to be lighthearted about it to a point, you know? There's a lot of things that come in that are downloads, even about judgment, you know? Which is what I was thinking I was going to talk about the other day. You may have clicked off already. We're at 7 minutes. I mean, some people's retention spans aren't very long, so hey ho, does it matter? Okay. You know what? Because things have just gone quiet in my mind, because there's so much I want to touch on that I'm just gonna chill. Just gonna chill. I actually think we need some Kali oracles, because that's always quite profound. It's basically divine mother, right? So if you're coming from, I notice anyone that's coming from a religious point of view, that this will be challenging them, seeing me use cards, right? And I was there once, believe it or not. But once these signs and synchronicities, and also with my twin flame, so these were real experiences that divine was putting on my path, okay? I've basically, I mean, it was mystical. So, I mean, if you want to call me anything, you could say I'm a mystic, because I've been drawn to it, because the Holy Spirit has guided me to it. So, anyway, what can we add to this, Mary? Can you help me right now? Because there's so much there's so much within my heart that is not going to come out in one video, right? It's too profound. Freedom. I'm called here to be free. Yeah, I was thinking about that on the way home, actually. Okay, anger is information. Yep. Anything else? See, that's got a number on here, actually. So that must be from Mary's, but it's 513. That's 9. That's like an end of a cycle. Love only ever expand. Here we've got Mary Magdalene herself turning up with the roses and the embodiment. Yeah, like I said, if I'm a bit scatterbrained, it's because there's so much that wants to come through me, but I'm just gonna chill, because resisting it or trying to over talk can suppress it. So I'm just going to let the book take over for a moment, because it's very much about receiving and giving, about judgment. It hasn't, but I mean, anger is information, but about egos and about, judgment of others, judgment of ourselves even. But we have to be very careful with judgment, because until it's become an experience of somebody, because you're not in their life, like somebody has not been in my life. You are with you, an embodiment. So we all have to protect ourselves, right? We're with a little child, and my last video, or one of them, encouraging you to be as a child, okay? To honor that inner child. And the inner child, children come in, they're very questioning. Why is this? Why is that? You question everything. And I think this is where Spirit wants us to go. Why? Because we are having a profound paradigm shift, even spiritually wise, even within religious structures. And we have to be willing to challenge our beliefs that this is healthy and divine is wanting this, okay? So grab your cuppa, sit tight, and be open. Sure, if because at the end of the day, if you really are grounded with divine and you're in a knowing, right? Although there is a point where you still have to challenge whether it's coming from the ego or from the heart-centered self, is you ask the questions. Now, am I right with this? Am I right with this? But yeah, this video is already scattered. Just like, oh my goodness, shall I upload it? But maybe that's why I'm burning the sage, is because you will get energies, even on this channel, people trying to project their scatterbrainness because they're not settled, right? So if you're in an uncomfortable position where you're challenging your beliefs, even within religious structures, I honor you right now. Because that is a healthy thing. You don't need to tell everybody. You just need to keep pondering it on yourself and keep asking the questions. And you're asking these questions to your spirit team, your guides, your ancestors, your angels, the ascended masters, which Jesus was one. But there are many other ascended masters that they are still part of the whole of source consciousness, okay? I think this is where we get stuffed up with our religious beliefs, because I think we've been told lies, okay, of where we come from. Like I said, I feel that there's very much information from Egypt, and look how the pyramids were created. I know that they will be channeling energy. They are pure energy channelers. Now, to be an earth angel, you need to seek to do good. You need to seek the inner divine. If you're not willing to seek the inner divine, and all you're going to do is project ego and maybe even narcissism or the lower energies, then this channel's not for you, okay? Like, unless you're willing to change and you're willing to go within. If you resonate with this channel, then great. I encourage you to do the healing with me, and we'll take on this journey, because this is a journey, and this is greater than my humanness can explain. And I know that divine, like, they're working with you, they're working with me, and they're ever present, okay? And yeah, we're continuously gaining more information, but downloads within our vessel, because this is the thing, is that Spirit wants to talk to you. The Holy Spirit will come within you. Okay, right, 7th power, rage. I don't know why I've just decided to go with that one first. Anger is information. It has always felt significant to me that rage is the 7th power, which is the 7th, because there's well, there's more, there's probably more. There's 12 chakra systems within the body, but the main ones are 7. If you don't know, the root, the sacral, the solar, the heart, the throat, the third eye, and the crown. Okay, so the 7th power, rage, can be the most derailing force in our lives. But first, it's crucial to distinguish between the rage that brings destruction and the rage that brings clarity. The oppressive need to appear good, to not express what we truly feel, through social conditioning or whatever. You need to fine tune yourself to pick up on these frequencies of inner knowing, what to unpack, why you react the way you react, and what the information is trying to tell you. Okay, so the oppressive need to appear good, to not express what we truly feel, forces many of us to stay stuck in the process of healing from trauma. There's a false narrative that to be spiritual, you have to be in some perpetual state of bliss or peace. Yes, and never fall to the ground in a fit of rage. So that's the first lie that you could be becoming more aware of within religious structures, potentially. And it can be under the bracket of self-righteousness, okay? Being angry is human. So if you're angry, there's a reason why you're angry. But you need to unpack where the anger and why you were angry. If you are being toxically manipulated, then fair enough. Your soul is righteously indignant at being oppressed. Or are you the oppressor? See what I'm saying? There's the two pluralities there. Are you the oppressed or the oppressor? Being angry is human, and being human is holy. You're wholly being human, believe it or not. Anger is information. Anger informs us, connects us to our humanity, and reminds us of what we care most about in our lives. It is a teaching tool. It is teaching you. Religions would probably say, oh, it's sinful to be angry. Well, I think you need to unpack that a bit more, yeah? This is why this is quantum energy healing, right? For earth angels, to embody that. People that have issues with the idea that I'm, about earth angels, well, have you ever been helped out by someone where you couldn't help yourself and you called them an angel? When people embody goodness, they are like angels to you, are they not? Does it mean you can see wings? No, come on, it's a perception thing. You're using your third eye. You are perceiving in that moment. If you have to get surgery or something has to, you've had an injury and you've relied on a surgeon to help you because you were helpless in that moment. That surgeon will be like an angel to you, would he not? Quantum energy healing, earth angels. It's simple. 1111, because I'm a twin flame. And because that came to me so much after my husband's death, it was a comfort. So it's a personal thing, okay? If you have an issue with it, you know where the door is. With respect. If you don't resonate, I'm not trying to say, I'm not trying to limit God here. And who do you know who can embody an earth angel? And like I said, an angel could be your neighbour because they stopped a burglary. They then become an angel to you. Why? Because they did good. We don't need to, intellectualize this into some kind of something that it's not, right? You know, I'm very frank here, and you know, I'm quite glad that you're not all sitting in front of me, because I'd probably be going like, I can be authentic, and it's just like, just be you, Caroline. Be authentically you. If it looks like I'm scatterbrained, look, those people would have left at 7 minutes. It culls them out. So if you've got this far, poof, big hat to you. You've got even more quantum energy healing. It pours from you. I think that's what spirit does, actually. It's like, we'll weed out the chaff because they won't be bothered to sit through it, right? We'll get the real, true Malloy ones, right? Why did I say true Malloy? I don't know why I said that. But I might just, because I don't actually... Interesting. Sometimes my words, I notice, I just, anyway, right, so I'm channeling only that which is for your highest and best good, and for my own, calling on my ancestors, the ascended masters, only for our highest and best good. I saw 2112 mirroring numbers. Okay, when we have been traumatized, there's a sacred rage that needs to be expressed in order for us to reclaim our voice. Holy moly. I've been through this the last 4 years. Those that did not have my highest and best good after my husband died. I was traumatized. It was a form of narcissistic abuse. And sometimes you have to go through the rage and the upset to bring peace. That form of rage is clarifying. It helps us begin to set boundaries as an act of love for ourselves. Thank you, Spirit. Chin chin, folks. Chin chin. Religions can make you think, oh, you've got to be lovely and nice to everybody. Well, not everybody is nice to you. Don't be fooled. Jesus wasn't fooled. He had to retreat from people that had wicked plots against him. He had to privately set himself aside. He was not stupid. But when it was his time to go, he did not fight it, because he knew the bigger purpose, and that was the greatest love affair of Christ. And you can embody it, and Jesus wanted you as leaders, not as sheep followers. He wants you to embody him. Embody his example. You're not following somebody that's talking from a pulpit. You could say, oh, I'm talking from a pulpit, but I'm not saying follow me, and I'm not asking for your money either. To date, my videos, there is no money. But if in time, you know, and this is, we get all screwed up in our head. I mean, I'm giving to divine, I'm giving to universal energy. It is given from my heart, and you cannot give without first receiving something. Correct? If you've got nothing to give, I mean, it just makes me remember again. This is what I thought of Jesus said about that widow. Was it that woman with just, she gave of 2 mites? She gave her whole. But I've had people judging me. They don't know me, and yet they've judged me. I give in what pours from my heart. I give in this way, and I give in other ways that is beyond the humanness, and nobody needs to know about it. You don't need to profess, well, I did this and I did that and I help this people and I do that people, right? No. You keep it humble and quiet within you when you're pouring from your heart. You're not giving to expect to receive, are you? Only from the universe, when you're giving from your heart, and you don't know how it's going to come back to you, right? You release that and you give it to divine, and you say, I mean, it's an energetic transfer where you've given to the others not expecting in return, but it'll come back. The universe sees it. It'll come back to you in other ways. That is, the two things don't tie up. It doesn't come back from the same person. We're not meant to overly analyze where this love is coming from, right? Or to check off a checklist of well, you gave me $10, well, I give you $10 back. And I mean, can you hear what I'm saying? I hope I'm making sense. Okay, the difference between the rage that clarifies and the rage that destroys is that one is simply experienced directly. And the other is acted on. Okay, the difference between the rage that clarifies and the rage that destroys, which is what I was talking about. Are you the oppressed or the oppressor? If you have been the oppressor and you're drawn to my channel, I salute you, man, woman. Because you're trying to flip the polarity. You're trying to be good. Divine will not resist you. Oh no. That is a righteous thing to do. Bless you. The difference between the rage that clarifies and the rage that destroys is that one is simply experienced directly and the other is acted on. Okay, so you're projecting your rage out, which destroys. You can be part of a destroyer, or it's the rage that you experienced directly, which I've experienced from the hands of other people projecting to me. Am I a victim? No, because I was wise and went within. But does it mean that spirit has been taken away? No. Except that I have control over my reaction to that. And I could have got angry. Oh man, I could have spewed out a whole load of bile and bitterness, anger. And in my private time, all's fair in love and war and that. When you're processing it, chin chin. Anger informs me, but love is what I let guide me when I'm ready to take action. Love is what I let guide me when I'm ready to take action. So make sure you're coming from you're using from that anger, you are then setting up boundaries to protect yourself as a self-defense, because you don't deserve that, right? And then choose to act from there. I burnt the sage just to protect me from evil eye, okay? I don't want it. The doors. It's a revolving door. If you're of the good intent, fine, you can stay. If you're not, I kindly expect you to just turn a corner, right? I still want you to transmute the darkness within yourself, transmute it and bring yourself. So that would be like a shadow work. Do shadow work within. And I'm happy to help you with shadow work. But at this stage, I'm not doing it for monetary gain, okay? I'm setting my intentions for divine at this moment in time. I don't know where this channel is going. I'm just gonna flow like a child. Follow my own calling, aka. At the end of Mary's gospel, after Mary has shared the teachings she learned from Christ directly from within her heart, so she's sharing from her heart, she shared them, Peter doesn't believe her. Well, you can have a spirit of unbelief. You don't need to believe me. He doesn't believe Mary because she is a woman. Where's that belief system coming from, I wonder? And was considered less worthy in rights and power in the 1st century Roman Empire. Oh yes, the patriarchal system again. Heaven forbid. Who's she? Who's she speaking on such things? Oh, dear Lord. Lordy, lordy, Lord. Oh. I'm not trying to make a mockery of this, but come on, actually, humour is the highest vibration. And I think the spirit and the angels are laughing with me. These are the ones that worship a statue of Mary, okay? I actually had a personal with something that I was in it being initiated. I felt Mary spoke to my heart, the mother of Jesus. I heard her from my heart. From my heart. This is where then it's like the liberation of the Marys, the liberation of Marys, because they now can come in through a heart-centered space. Now, wasn't Jesus all about, I will write it on the table of thine heart? You religious people? And I'm not making a mockery of religion. Don't get me wrong here, because there's much good. But it needs fine-tuning, and there's things left out. Because I'm a twin flame, and the mystical experience that I've been through numbers, and this might not be your experience, so you're just going to have to take my word for it. Pray for it, but you're going to have to start getting more and more fine-tuned. You're going to have to really, really focus on the questions that you want to give to divine to get an honest answer. Are you prepared for that? Are you prepared to embody the light? I've gone goosebumps all down my thing, because this is part of the ascension path, okay? We're now at, I just saw 3144. There's 144 in there as well. I mean, it's just talking about the 144,000. Maybe this is what, you know, but it's just, it's only to help others ascend, right? This is how you do it. So you've got it. You can't just become a part of a church, and that's the other thing. Jesus does not desire sacrifice, but mercy. So we've got to be merciful to people that want to change their ways, okay? That maybe even were the oppressors. Well, there's plenty of them in the world, isn't there? Hence why we are where we are today. Hence why you're looking at this video. Maybe even got to 32. As I just said. That's 5. That's change. Are you committed to changing? I can guarantee the vast majority of you would have exited at 7 minutes and gone, oh God, she doesn't know what she's talking about. Spirit does the same thing. This is very profound, because this is exactly how there is a hierarchy. I mean, there is a ranking in the spirit world. People that have done the work. People that have ascended past their limited ego. Even within religious structures, people that have gone past holy, being holier than thou. People that have or being self-righteous. Am I being self-righteous now? No, I'm merely stating how I see it. Could it become an ego if I let it? Will I? There's certainly no desire for that. The light is actually quite hard to hold in your body. The last few days, my heart has felt like it was breaking open again even more. It was like a dull hurt. It's like a dull ache. It's just expanding more. Are you going through ascension, what I call ascension symptoms? For your highest and best good, to embody more light. My heart has been broken so much, including on the twin flame journey, to the point where I'm unrecognizable, even to my religious friends, or the friends whom in my church. And am I trying to poo-poo them? No, I'm not. I'm just saying that we sometimes we ascend past where people are able to meet us, and that can be lonely. You are on a mountaintop. You are following the trail of divine. You are ascending. Does that mean that they won't follow you? Not necessarily. They might join me. And then we'll bring into even more fellowship. Does this mean, you know? But I do question. I do believe in the washing of our spirits and being purified as vessels. Very much so. More than sacrifice. Sacrifice is sinners, so you're not willing to ascend. He desires mercy and for us all to help each other up as we ascend. Does he not? I pray Divine would give me even more understanding and clarity so that we can hold each other's hands as we ascend, to bring in more information. But yeah, that woman with the 2 mites, she gave her all, didn't she? Does, you know, but you know, your 2 mites might be your greatest offer. You might give even more money, but it still might be your best offer. Divine knows, they're not silly. They know the energetics. They know when you've given of your best. But they're not asking you to deny, to look after self. Look at the ointment that Mary put on, because she actually was Jesus was from the Essenes. Those years that were missing, he's part of the Essene community, but he went traveling around, right? And all the different religions and sects. And he spoke to all of them, and he gained much knowledge through the experience. That's what happened in those missing years. Peter's rage clouds his ability to hear the truth in what Mary has to teach him. You could be like that. You don't want to hear me. You've clicked off. You exited at 2 minutes. That's not going to affect me and my ascension. I put energetic protection, aura around my aura to protect me. And that, I pray for your protection of your aura being sealed and protected by Divine. But it's your responsibility. That's why I say, are you a sovereign soul? Are you an accountable soul? Do you go within? Do you question your belief systems? Are you willing to ask the questions to Divine? Write them down. Serious questions. Give it. Is it coming from your heart, or is it coming from your ego to quickly try and get an answer for your ego to hold to that belief system? Because this is what people have got to be aware of. That's the shadow side of human nature. You will try and cling to your belief systems in the hope that, because you don't want to be wrong. I'm quite happy to be wrong, believe me. I've challenged myself this whole time thinking, have I just made this whole thing up? No, I haven't. Has it been a real experience with my twin flame? Yes, it has. Does it mean where to from here? I don't know. It's beyond a romantic relationship at this point, because I am ascending. Will it mean that he will match my vibration to be equally yoked with me? Doesn't mean that he has to be doing this with me, right? But it doesn't mean that he can't support me in my endeavors, like I would support him in his endeavors, right? That's love. Levi, one of the other disciples, confronts Peter and says, "You are always ready to give way to your perpetual inclination to anger." This is what he's saying about Peter. So he's confronting him. Now, isn't that a real brother? You confront people. You reflect back to them what they're projecting to you. I've had that experience this week. I'll tell you why. I have this friend that is very much a sovereign soul. No denying that. Absolutely awesome. We've been in communication like soul brother and sister. Absolutely awesome. He's been there for me as a widow. I respect and absolutely love it. Now, he has got, you know, a business within, and there was a target of 100,000. Okay, I'm not going to talk about who or what we were thinking, but it was, I believe it's coming from a very pure intentions. Okay, and but the target was to get to 100,000. So then the plan was for this said business to then give $1,000 to whoever was put forward as a need. Okay. Well, anyway, because I'm friends with this guy and he knows, you know, my situation, I thought, you know, I'll put my name. I thought, well, put my name forward, because at the end of the day, you can't give unless you receive. Okay. And this isn't a reflection. I'm not, you know, I don't need to tell you all my stance here, because Spirit knows where I'm coming from here. Now, instantly he said, this is the problem with society, right? We want to take. Well, hang on a minute. Are we not in a society? Oh, we've got a fly. Where did you come from, buddy? Trying to disrupt what's going on. I think I might have to open the door in a minute. Where was I? Yeah, and then he said the problem society wants to give, and I expect, and I'm like, well, hang on a minute, dude. Aren't you expecting to receive first before you give out? Can you see that fly, eh? I'm just going to bear with a minute. Come on, Mr. Fly, you're annoying me. Where are you going? Oh, there he goes. Might get distractions upon your journey, right? Things that don't want to be spoken, or should be spoken. Anyway, where was I? Yeah, so this is what I'm saying. I'm like, hang on a minute. So I said, well, you know, the thing is with society, we're in this system, okay, which is pretty much slavery, okay? So when you're being oppressed, you're going to seek to protect yourself, are you not? First. Because unless you protect yourself first, how are you, unless you put the oxygen mask on first, how are you supposed to help other people with their oxygen mask? We have to be very careful with judgment. So he was projecting to me that, and to society, that, you know, but I'm like, hang on a minute, society is just a reflection of the oppressor. So I have great compassion. Aren't we supposed to have compassion for society on the things that they're enduring right now in a system that's been set up that should be completely abolished, as far as I feel? Well, we'll coming back to love and you know, do good to thy neighbor, isn't it? And you know, do not defraud thy brother, right? But it's an inner work of the heart. You know, these things are systemic only because people have not, you know, they need to learn how to embody this new way of being to become good. You can choose not to be good. That's entirely your choice. So through that whole experience, I just thought, oh man, I think this is the thing, when you're a light worker, or, you know, you embody goodness, you will get people projecting to you. And the thing is, it can become a spirit, it can become a, you know, and this is somebody that's aware of these energetic things. And I'm going, it's a perception. So you have to be careful you're not add to your ego. Now, when you become really, really higher up in the ranks, I believe you see all perspectives. You're willing to put your ego aside, and you're willing to look at somebody's life, okay, and truly listen. Since my husband's died, I've not had one person that's been able to, oh, well, actually, I've got someone completely separate from my church, but there's, you know, that, but is not at, these are so miraculous things. But yeah, when you're willing to put your ego aside to see someone else's perspective, okay? Does he see what I'm giving to the collective on YouTube free of charge? Yeah, sure, whatever. I'm a long way off meeting any targets to, I don't even know how it works. I haven't even looked into it. Why? Because this has been my experience, my healing. And so I'm okay with that if I never receive. Because eventually, okay, even if you got a whole load of cash out, okay, it's a piece of paper. It's only what we as humans give the value in our heads in that system, right? That's why people choose to maybe get gold or silver, but it's not like we're exchanging gold and silver at the moment, is it? Can you hear what I'm saying? So when you're triggered by people or they've cast judgments, just go with them, just withdraw. If you're feeling oppressed by their judgment and they're separating, they're just perpetuating more separation, okay? Because then I said, well, hang on a minute. You know, after he was telling me, you know, well, that's the problem with society. All you want to do is take. Well, hang on a minute. Isn't that what you're doing by what you're trying to meet a target? So that you receive, so that you can give. and isn't that hypocrisy? It's the person that first judges, really. I mean, we have to be careful because we can all get caught in this ego trap. It doesn't matter. What matters is someone's soul. If you're being oppressed, then you need to retreat to protect your soul because this is precious. But and you desire safety of another whom has your heart, whom is willing to protect it like their own. They're the real relationships, are they not? Right, anyway, that might have helped somebody. 48 minutes already. We're going to get a shift on. Okay, so yeah, Levi, one of the other disciples, confronts Peter and says, you are always ready to give way to your perpetual inclination to anger. And even now, you are doing exactly that by questioning the woman as though you're her adversary. Yeah. I mean, I was questioning him, but only because he questioned me. I was a reflection. And he was reckoned he was a reflection. But he judged me first. And is it about tit for tat? No. I'm not interested in ego, but you still have to state your case, don't you? But this is a separate issue here because Peter here was just obviously very much, righteous, it's not even righteous. He didn't want to be spoken to by a woman, pretty much. Because God is apparently male. So God is both male and female polarities. Why? He spoke to Mary. Mary, he could only create with Mary to create Jesus. So the woman is very important. Go into the womb. Penny dropped there, eh? That's Mary's Gospel, chapter 10, verses 7 to 8. Peter is able to see that it's rage that keeps him from wanting to believe Mary. Well, I think the ego as well. The seventh power at work within him will silence and erase Mary's voice for almost 2 millennia. Isn't that what we've just gone through? Hence, we're in the mess we are. But as one of the 7 powers of the ego, even rage is not everlasting. Only love is. Love. Reminds me of a hymn. Love is the kingdom's banner. What information is my anger revealing to me in this moment? Right, what else are we going to read from here, Mary? Freedom. I just think that's beautiful what happened to me at the start of this video, and the fact that it was all coming in and it was kind of all getting cross-wired and blah 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 blah, and it was like, holy moly, are we actually going to get on this train of thought that actually makes coherent sense? So if you got this far, you are my soul tribe. I know all about twin flames, people that are commenting, because I am one. I'm called here to be free. This is it. This is the mountaintop, the ultimate place to reach. This moment, this exalted state of just being fully here right now, in this breath, in this body. 3 big deep breaths in, guys. And again. And again. Beautiful. This is what we took. This is what we worked so hard for. Freedom. Here. And this is what makes freedom so powerful. It's not dependent on anything outside of us. It doesn't arrive because of a single event or a singular person in our life. No matter how significant, freedom comes from within. Yes, it does. People that embody this energy to create heaven on earth. So we can experience freedom even in the midst of the most tremendous pain or the most stressful circumstances. Freedom is not bound to anything that's temporary. Freedom is the glorious inner state of peace we can reach when we've unbound ourselves from all the egoic states that confine our perception. Freedom feels like a blank slate, a wide expanse, a universe of possibility suddenly opening up from within. Freedom is our birthright. Freedom is our birthright. Christ reminds us in Galatians 5, verse 13. Remember, friends, to you the call came to give you freedom. This is the call to your soul. We are called here to be free, both externally and internally. Well, there's a war about that freedom, isn't there? But you just embody it, beautiful souls, and follow the nudges from spirit. Is it going to be easy? No. Do we have all the answers? No. Are there some things you're still kind of going to be trapped, I wouldn't say trapped, violet flame that thought, but you're going to be, feels like you're pushing shit uphill, basically. And you feel that you're, but there is ways and means. And there is going to be very much mercy and grace as we navigate these waters. My heart goes to you. But just remember, your soul is calling you to be good and to choose from that place. We are called here to be free, both externally and internally. Free from persecution, free from oppression, free from others causing us harm. Oh, yes, please. And free from our own thoughts that harm us from within. Yeah, we can oppress ourselves sometimes. We are here to free ourselves and to be in service of a love that actively works to end oppression in all its forms. Alleluia. We cultivate the state of feeling free We cultivate this state of feeling free by remembering that freedom is our birthright. No matter what unfolds, no matter how often the ego tries to bind us in one of its 7 powers, there's a freedom that comes from within. It's a freedom that no one can ever take from us. There's a freedom that's divine. It's witnessed and then passed on from heart to liberated heart. There's a freedom that comes from knowing true peace, from remembering the good we are, from aligning again with the source of love itself. This is what we're called here to be, free. This is what we're called here to demonstrate, to protect, and to advocate for each other, freedom. Mary Magdalene. If you're watching, brother, who I love you. I love you. Nothing's changed. I'm still here. But you can't give without receiving, right? Mary Magdalene. Love only ever expands. Peter says to Mary in her gospel, "Sister, we know the Saviour loved you more than all other women." That's Mary's Gospel, chapter 6, verse 1. This passage makes clear that Christ's love for Mary was unique, singular. Now that's a twin flame connection. And so there were teachings that his love for her alone could communicate. Teachings that she alone could receive and that she alone could then share with the rest of the world. Because of this, Peter then asked Mary, "Tell us the words of the Saviour that you remember, the things which you know that we don't because we haven't heard them." So he's probably a bit jealous, should we say. Just reading between the lines. Peter asks, he genuinely wants to know, but then when she gave it, he kind of put it through the ego a bit, and we can have mercy on him for that, right? We're all in the ascension process. The heart of Mary's gospel then follows. She reveals what has been hidden from us. She teaches us about the vision we're all capable of, how the soul perceives the world with the spiritual eye, or a form of seeing from within this unassuming and humble space of the human heart. Mary's intimate exchange with Christ in her gospel takes place from within her. Christ tells her that she's wonderful for being able to perceive him, and that this capacity to see with the heart, this true vision, is the treasure. This love that sits at the core of who we are is what allows us to become a bridge between the worlds. This love that is stronger than death. This love that reminds us when we are bound by a power of the ego that we are also a soul. This love that frees us. When we allow love to overwhelm us, letting it reach where we feel broken, alone, unforgivable, or forgotten, this is the whole point of being here. My heart is broken, but I wouldn't be sharing this to you today if my heart hadn't been completely smashed apart by the world and the oppressors. I wouldn't have reached. And it's not like I've reached and Mary had to, be raised up by those angels 7 times a day. Well, that was her ascension, isn't it? Was it a physical? We've talked about that in another video. The point is to let love reach where it has never been before. We can forgive them. They know not what they do, the oppressors. But does that mean we put ourselves in line for them to abuse us again? No. We shuffle our feet and we make better decisions and choices so that they don't have that kind of power over you. They're not over you. You are a sovereign being. We're all on the same level. And in spiritual rank, the higher you ascend, the more you go within. Christ's love for Mary is the other half of the Christian story that's been left out purposely. It's the other half of his ministry. So you want to ascend, you embody, you listen to Mary that's speaking to your heart right now. And I believe we're ready for it now, which is why a buried gospel, lost to us for almost 2 millennia, has been found. We're ready to put this love story into practice, yes. Now, wasn't it interesting now? Wasn't it the Dead Sea Scrolls, if I'm not mistaken, that Mary's gospel was unearthed from, or in one of the tombs in Egypt? And wasn't it interesting how I was given the revelation of, let's see if I can find it, the Dead Sea. Let's find it. There we go. Isaiah chapter 60 verse 5. Then you shall see and be radiant, and your heart shall thrill and tremble with joy at the glorious deliverance, and be enlarged, because the abundant wealth of the Dead Sea shall be turned to you. Unto you shall they come with treasure. The treasure of the heart. Their story is a love that has always been meant for us. This love that makes simply being fully human our true purpose. You don't hear that much, do you, in religious circles? Stop rejecting your shadow side. I want you to love it. This isn't about beating up your shadow side. No, this channel is not about beating yourself up. But it's you having discernment, and you knowing where your shortcomings are, and you working on self. And having a genuine desire to turn your heart around for the good. I just saw 1:02:02, but I also saw 1:02:01. This love that resurrects. This love that brings us back to life again and again. This love that only ever expands. Where has my love not yet reached? Wow. Wow. So that was the 7th power. So that would, could be Peter and Peter raging here, and maybe that Levi was challenging Peter to pull his head in. Have you not had that in your life? Pull your head in. Meaning the ego. Pull it in. Freedom. I am called here to be free. Entrapments of even religion. It's funny, they're actually standing outside a church, right, building. It's about the inner temple. That is the doorway to thine heart. Mary Magdalene, love only ever expands. With the roses. Sister of the rose. There you go. I just think it's beautiful because, you know, I have a deeper appreciation for the Marys now than I ever did. And the importance of them. Yet, you know, it just brings more unity. And it makes me think about where Jesus said, you know, or even God said about, you know, I will take the wisdom of the wise and turn it on a head, right? And people that think they're the wisest. And I'll give it to the babes. The last shall be first, the first shall be last. There is no division in spirit. There's only ever love. But are you willing for that love? Thank you, Megan Watterson, for her theologian studies and for putting this deck together, that I may share this with you. The eye of the heart. And I resonate muchly with my own personal experience, and it feels truth to me. But you make of it what you will. Well, maybe look up 87. Just type in YouTube 8787 angel number, because the angels communicate through. It's the universal language. Look at the light that's flooding in. Oh, thank you. So I'll leave it at that. What was that? 10515 I saw before. Love you. And if you got to the last, yeah, like, if you'd like to like, subscribe, but hey, it's not going to change my heart and where I'm pouring to you from love. And I pray that it will bless you, and I honour you as I pray you honour me. Sending you love. Mwah. Bye.